Hello guys, what's going on? It's your boy Solsec here from MBT Studio, and today we're going to be reviewing the AUNE B1S headphone amplifier. Now, as you can see, it's a portable headphone amplifier, and it's really built like a tank. It is full metal, aluminum, I believe. And you know a company is serious when you see two windows that shows you the internals and a leather on the back. Now this leather on the back is not just there for the heck of it. It's there to prevent scratches on your phone. Now I do have a case, but in case you don't. Now everything is very well thought out, but there are a few quirks, and I'll go over that in a minute. But basically here you have a class A and a gain switch. So the gain switch is plus and minus, and the minus is for headphones with low impedance, not so hard to drive headphones, in-ear monitors, earphones, and stuff like that. And the high gain is for headphones that are a little bit more demanding. And then the class A is supposed to give you more smoothness when you have it on. And I do not know what it is if it's not class A. When it's turned on to the minus, maybe it's class AB, class D, I have no clue. But class A is available. That's what's important. Now the danger of having everything on one side is that the gain switch is right here, and then the class A switch is right at the bottom. So this means that if you reach to your pocket and try to switch on the class A mode or turn it off, and by accident hit the gain mode by accident, then your gain can go down, which is not a significant problem. But if you hit gain up when you have in your monitors or headphones that are really easy to drive, then the volume will increase dramatically, and that's very dangerous. So I find that to be the only quirk for this headphone amplifier in terms of design. Now there is a volume switch right at the top, which I found to be unique, and it is a little bit stiff, but it's quite nice. It's a quite nice volume knob, but it is a little bit stiff for portable use. Now there is the input and output, and both of them is 3.5 millimeter input and output. So I use this nice silver cable for the input from my phone, and I'm using LG V30 phone over here. And then you put your headphone jack right here, like so, and then you can start listening to it. Now remember that this is only a headphone amplifier. It does not have a digital to audio converter. It does not have a DAC, which means that it's just amplifying whatever is given to it. And of course it has its own sound quality and stuff like that, which we will get into, but basically it is amplifying whatever is given to it. This means that if you're using a phone and you're using the DAC built into the phone, you're not going to get the full potential. This is why on AUNE's website, if you see it, they say that you should use it with a digital audio player. And that's because digital audio players are meant for music, right? However, I found the LG V30, which has the hi-fi Saber DACs, 4 of them, to work very fine with it. Very decent sound quality. Of course, if you're using like an Aster and Kern and such, then this will help. However, I found the Aster and Kern to have more output than this, which is ironic. So I'd imagine that whoever is using this device is probably going to be using it with their phone. So I have few phones here, mostly LG phones, and both of these phones sounded excellent with the AUNE B1S. But of course I'm going to be reviewing the sound quality of these later on, these phones. That's why I have it in for review. So at the end of the day, the story goes that the better your source is, the better it will sound. So the B1S, you need to have a good source. You really don't want to be driving it with a typical Samsung S7, S6 and such. It will sound okay, but you're just amplifying whatever is given to it. So now let's talk about the sound quality of the AUNE B1S. As beautiful it is, it sounds really good. And when you turn it on, it turns green lights right here, like as if it's something staring at you. And it's just absolutely beautiful, and you can see those caps. Oh boy, it's beautiful. Anyhow, I was driving it with a headphone called the Sennheiser HD1, which is a quite recent headphone from Sennheiser, sent to me, which I will review later on. And I have the HG400i over here, open back, of course, not for portable use, but just to see the driving capability. And of course, I had multiple in-ear monitors and such that I tried it with. Now, the Class A is most noticeable when you're using it with the in-ear monitor or it's something that is easy to drive. It is less noticeable when you're using with a high impedance or hard to drive headphone. Now, with this being said, AUNE claims that they can drive the HD650, which is a 300 ohm and quite hard to drive headphone in comparison with whatever I had here. And they claim that this can drive it, the HD650. And so I don't have the HD650 right now, so I decided to try it with the HG400i, which is a less of a harder to drive headphone. And so I tried it, and to my surprise, when I had it on high gain, full blast, it gave me like my listening level. And I listen to music quite loud, to be fair, but driving is different from volume. And I found that even the HG400i was not at its full potential, was not being driven like it should be. Maybe volume-wise, it will, the sound will come out, but in terms of being driven, I don't think it's going to drive the HD650. But for all intents and purposes, if you're using this for in your monitor or portable go, then there's no concern. It sounds absolutely phenomenal. I have no idea how I didn't come across this until now. It is really, really beautiful. And of course, if black is not your color, they have red as well, red letter on the back. And it is absolutely incredible sounding. If you see my review a while back of the Oppo Hat2 SE, which was something like this, an excellent portable amplifier. And this is like that. Of course, the Oppo Hat2 SE had that little bass boost, which I would absolutely love to have on this unit. But even without that, this is more liquid and much more forgiving, and it is just absolute pure joy. It sounds very, very good, and for the money, it is absolutely great. And any headphone or in-ear monitor I put into this unit, it sounded really, really good. The bass was full, was dynamic, and the mid-range was absolutely beautiful. The vocals had this gut. You could almost hear like the rumbling in the vocal cords. It sounded absolutely beautiful. And the high frequencies are not bright, but it's there. Everything is there. And it's really able to grab you and transfer the musicality to your ears. It is absolutely a grabbing experience. That's how I would put it. Now, this does have a charger. It is battery powered. And according to AUNE, it lasts from 5 to 10 hours. And I found that to be correct. When I was using it, it was about 8 hours. So if you're looking for a portable amplifier that sounds really good, then look no further. The B1S headphone amplifier here, it sounds really, really good. And it should be on my top 5 list so far. Is it better than the Oppo Hat2 SE? It is comparable. It's different. Oppo Hat2 SE is more transparent and it has more detail and such, but in terms of the ability to grab you and really give you that euphoric experience, I think the AUNE B1S is the answer. So thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the future.